Hey, it's Mr. Keys, and in this video we're going to take a look at how to set up our acapellas so that they match with our instrumental for our mashup. Let's start with a really easy one. So we're going to take a look at The Hills by The Weeknd. And what we're going to do is, if yours doesn't look like this, there's probably a button down here that says Analyze. You have to click that, and then basically all these lines will come into view. Now, the only thing that we really have to do this one is to go to Actions to say Adapt Region Tempo to Project Tempo. So what that's going to do is it's going to take the tempo of the region and it's going to switch it to the tempo of the project. So it's going to either stretch it or compress it. And then it's going to align the downbeats. So the downbeats are these orange things. They're beat 1. Okay, so let's do that and let's see what it does. So there we go. It's moved things over. And so let's take a listen to this by itself with the metronome.
Your man on the road, he doing promo. You said
okay, so that sounds pretty good. Now, every time you do this, you need to make sure that you check later on in the file. Okay, so you need to make sure that everything's still lined up. So I'm just going to go down to here.
Driving through the gated residential.
Okay, so it's still on. Let's go here. Okay, so it's good.
Touch me, not feel me when I only call you when it's
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so everything seems to be lined up, and I'll just go a little further. Okay, so you have to know the song a little bit to know where beat 1 actually should be. Okay, so for this one, beat 1 starts when he starts singing. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this little bit right here seems to be like an intro. So let's go back to the beginning of the song and press semicolon, and it snaps this into place. Let's hear what it sounds like with our instrumental. Okay, so everything's lined up nicely. Now, not all songs are created equally, and so this might have been a really easy one, but let's take a look at Diamonds by Rihanna. This one is a little bit trickier. So, as you can see, it hasn't been analyzed, so go down to here and press the Analyze button. And we're going to mute the instrumental just for now and listen to this song.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Okay, let's go to over here. Okay, so that's another part.
Fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I.
Okay, so it seems like she's singing slower than what the beat is. So that means we need to go to Actions, Adapt Region Tempo to Project Tempo. And what this is going to do is it's going to take the region here, the entire song, and it's going to adapt it to the tempo of the project, and it's going to align the downbeat just like we did before.
Fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy.
Now the issue right now that I can hear is that beat 1 is not where it should be. So let's go to a part where we definitely know where beat 1 should be. Let's maybe look for the chorus.
I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew that we'd be.
Keep going.
At first sight, I felt the energy of sun rays. I saw the life inside, so shine bright.
Okay, now sometimes if this happens, it just means that we need to kind of nudge this over. But in this case, what we need to do is we actually need to go down here and rearrange where beat 1 is. So I know that the word bright should be beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so that means I'm going to go and I'm just going to loop this. Actually, I'll loop the last bar. And it's going to loop down here as well. So the numbers up here don't correspond to the numbers down here, and that's because of starting position. So this starts in bar 3, and so that's why it's not corresponding. All right, so let's take a look.
I saw the life.
Now we can scroll up to zoom in, and I have my eyes on where I want to adjust. So
I saw the life inside. So shine bright.
So right here, this should be beat 1. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to adjust it. Let's see if it works now. And what you're going to notice is it actually moves the region up here. Let me just undo this, Command Z. Okay, so take this, move it over, and as soon as I let go, there we go. So it looks like bright is lined up with beat 1.
Saw the life inside. So shine bright.
Okay, so now that we've done that, we got to make sure that everything else is okay.
Tonight, you and I.
Okay, so that looks good. Let's go back to the beginning and let's see if everything is lined up nicely. So you can see that the way that it adjusted it, there's actually a little bit of silence at the beginning of the track that we don't need. So let's just clip that one off. There we go. And now we can probably pull this all the way back to the beginning.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Fine light in the beautiful city.
So the important thing to notice about this song is that the verse actually starts after beat 1. So she doesn't start singing on beat 1. And actually that's going to be very true for most songs. Either the person is going to start the verse or a chorus or whatever. They almost never will start on beat 1. It's either going to start after or maybe slightly before. If it starts before, we call that a pickup. If it starts after, well, we just don't call it anything. But that's kind of how it works with music.
Fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy.
Okay, let's scroll forward a little bit.
I knew that we'd become one right away. Oh, right away.
Okay, let's go forward a little more.
Tonight, you
Let's hear what this sounds like with the instrumental. So here we go.
are the life inside. So shine bright. Tonight, you and I, we're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
And of course, we need to go further to make sure that everything is still lined up perfectly.
We're like diamonds in the sky.
2, 3, 4.
I felt the energy of the sun rays. I saw the life inside you. Shine bright tonight, you and I. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
Okay, so it seems good to me, and if we keep going, it should still be lined up.
Tonight, you and I, we're beautiful like diamonds in.
Okay, so there you have it. That's exactly how we're going to do it. So the key things to note in this video are you analyze the file, go to actions, adapt region to tempo, and then you have to kind of figure out is beat 1 where it should be. And if it's not, then you need to use this bottom node to kind of move it around until you figure out where beat 1 is. And you can kind of keep doing that. And obviously you can undo and things like that. But that's what you should hope to get when you're setting up these acapellas. So these are the more simple songs that we can adjust. Now there are some more complicated ones, and we'll take a look at some of those in the next video. Hope this helps.